Good morning to our viewers in Nigeria and Africa and across the globe. It's the conversation at TOS TV Network, reaching you from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. A very sunny day in the capital city today. Quite bright lights in a beautiful city. All right, my name is Adesuwa Osui.
And I am Sagir Ibrahim. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Good morning, Sergey. How are you doing?
Doing quite well. How are
It's
you
quite,
doing?
it's quite bright in the capital today.
Yes, it is.
Very sunny.
As a matter of fact, yes.
Yes, I think you like sunny days.
Oh, of course I do.
Well, I like, not necessarily gloomy days, but, I like rain. I like,
You like
feeling
them because
of
they
rain.
help you sleep, actually. It's not because of anything else. You like gloomy and rainy days, and you like cold days.
Yeah.
So I can just sleep in and then remain at home.
But I'm usually here.
And that's just the sad thing about it.
Okay, with that, we'll bring you the quote of the day to kickstart the show. And after that, we'll be looking at stories and happenings from across Africa.
Always remember,
This man I have creative design. We really like it, but
you deserve a break. You can indulge in a cup of 3-in-1 Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Indulge. Now available in the 450 grams pouch.
Okay, so we'll be starting from home. That's starting from here in Nigeria, where the Nigeria's Governor Forum Secretariat has expressed sadness over the death of former Deputy Governor of Kaduna State, Barnabas Bala, who died Sunday in Abuja after suffering from a prolonged illness. The head, Media and Public Affairs, NGF Secretariat, Abdul Razak Bello Bakindo, commiserated with the government and people of the state in a statement on Sunday. He said the death of Mr. Bantex got to the Forum Secretariat as a huge shock.
Also, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has announced that it would begin public sensitization for air travelers, which will further enlighten them on steps to take when their flights are delayed or cancelled. The Director General of the Aviation Authority, Captain Musa Nuhu, made this known to newsmen in Lagos at the weekend.
I think this is an offshoot of the directive that says, like, airline operators, if you delay, airline for 2 hours, then you have to refund the money or pay
Yeah,
them.
I think it is.
Yes, I think it's an offshoot of that. All right, still here in Nigeria, the Central Bank of Nigeria has released regulatory guidelines and framework for mobile money services in the country in an effort to enhance financial inclusion. The advent of mobile telephony in Nigeria, its fast development and acceptance, and the recognition of person-to-person payment as a viable approach for financial inclusion have made it critical to use the mobile channel to drive financial inclusion among the unbanked, CBN said.
Yeah, I think it's important that this happens because while they try to include, telecommunication companies into financial transactions and all of that, it is also very, very important, to set a regulatory framework to ensure that these, transactions are, number one, controlled, and number two, to ensure that they are not used as an avenue for fraud. Because, there are certain times when, for example, a certain telephone network here in Nigeria has an affiliatory, do I say it's affiliated to a bank, and so they can just use airtime from this particular network to transfer money directly to the bank. And because of this seamless process and because it is not regulated, people tend to lose money, especially when the SIM card, which is for this particular network, is linked to their bank account. So when they lose their phones, it is very, very easy for scammers who are in the know of this technology to just, convert all of the monies in their account to airtime and then transfer such monies to their account. So if there is no regulatory measure or there is no framework to ensure that this is controlled, we could see a large scale of corruption, we could see a large scale of fraud, to the extent that people might have billions in their account balances for their mobile SIMs, and nobody will know this because, by the way, you're carrying these SIMs around. Nobody knows your account balance except you dial *123# or *232 or *556#, and then they'll see how much you are in these SIMs. So if you want to do mobile transfers, all you need to do is just transfer a little of your airtime to your bank account, and you have money in your account. If you don't do that, nobody knows you're carrying such amount of money.
Exactly.
So, and if you lose this SIM card, all you need to do is say, welcome back, and everything is back on track.
Yeah.
So, until there is a framework to ensure that this is checkmated, a lot of people will just use this as an avenue for fraud, for stealing, and a whole lot of other ugly things.
Okay. All right. Before we proceed to, COVID-19 development, what's your take on the, rising wave of COVID-19, the third wave across Africa? I know countries like Kenya, South Africa are beginning, to lose it over the third wave.
Well, I will continue to advocate for the manufacture of vaccines to be domiciled in Africa. However, we should note that the third wave of the COVID-19 is occasioned by the new strain of the COVID-19, which is the Delta variant. Yeah. Yes. So while we advocate for this to happen, we also need to understand that the vaccine might not even be as effective on the Delta variant as the previous variants we've all known. So it is very, very important that while we're still looking for remedies to the COVID-19 as a whole or generally, we bear in mind that it is important for us to maintain social and physical distancing and all of the COVID-19 guidelines to ensure that the Delta variant, which is not known to even researchers and scientists at the moment, exactly, because even the PCR test kits that has been used on other variants to detect whether someone is positive or negative does not necessarily work for the Delta variant. Yes. So the only way one may know that he might be going down with something is if he begins to see symptoms which are also related to malaria or a common flu. Yeah. Chest pains, pains across all of your joints, pains across your spine and all of that. So you might take it to be something minute or something minor, because now it doesn't even come with a cough anymore. Neither does it come with, a blocked nose and all of that. You no longer have breathing challenges, and they say this time it attacks your lungs directly. So before you know that this might be COVID from the Delta strain, it might be too late. So it is important, yes.
You had a series of body pain yesterday. I'm trying to... Did you?
I had cold, my friend. Which ones I had a little bit of body pain. Look at how you are looking at me like a suspect. What do you mean?
Because I think with you,
social and physical distancing from you right now.
But still, you still have to check yourself.
Check what?
Okay, with that, we bring you COVID-19 update from across Africa, and after that, we'll be looking at the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers this morning.
TOS TV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live, watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
Being a journalist means in-depth analysis that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget, and the budget they look. Some they sleep. They're going to ask how much you are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Osasu Igboneja, and I am the People's Journalist.
You're still watching The Conversation on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television, and you can be part of the conversation by connecting with us on our various social media channels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as watch us live via our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. You could also watch some of our content on YouTube at TOS TV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It is the newspaper segment of The Conversation, and this morning we begin with the Daily Trust newspaper, and starting from the very top, we see extortion along Apapa Port worth 100 million naira daily, and beside that we see Senate approves 20-year jail term for ballot box snatchers. Beside that as well, we see road crashes kill 279 in Ogun, Edo in 6 months. For the banner headline there, we see National Assembly meets Buhari over insecurity. Others, quite a number of riders underneath the banner headline there. We must restore peace, and that's by the president. Our meeting beyond dinner party, says the Senate President Ahmed Lawan, as well as reps present 19-point demands, while Senate rejected Onochie as INEC commissioner. And this can be found on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper of today. And underneath the picture of the day there, we see woman, 4 kids killed in Zamfara airstrikes. And there are a couple of other headlines on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. You could simply grab a copy to keep updated.
Looking at the front page of the Daily Times newspaper this morning, starting with the banner headline, which is the first headline there. Senate goes tough on ballot box snatchers. Others, passes electoral offences bill, prescribes 20 years jail term for ballot box snatchers. Bows to pressure, rejects Onochie as INEC commissioner, confirms 5 others. That story is continued on page 2 of the Daily Times. Underneath the picture of the day on security, we must end insecurity in Nigeria, Buhari tells NAS members. And on politics, concerns over extended APC convention. And on business, investors gain 43.41 billion naira amid positive market turnover. The last headline there says it's on insecurity as well. 774 kidnapped, 222 killed in Kaduna in 3 months.
On the Business Day newspaper of today, we start with the banner headline there, which states COVID-19, Nigeria's weak economic recovery calls for concern. Beside that, we see mainstream media take on Buhari in front page protest against gagging. Underneath inside of the Business Day newspaper, we see pension contributors to get more in reform bill amendment, and that could be found on page 30 of the Business Day newspaper. And that's it for the Business Day newspaper this morning. And
the last daily we're going to be looking at its front page is the Blueprint newspaper, starting from the very top. Naira faces another obstacle as travel agency devalue exchange rate. Nigeria leads mobile app market growth as gaming apps surge 44%. And INEC Senate throws out Buhari's nominee Onochie. OK's 5 others as national commissioners. Rejection of presidential aid, victory for democracy. That's coming from the PDP. Underneath that, Cold War claims 10 in Asaba. And the banner headline on the Blueprint newspaper this morning, Buhari transmits 13.98 trillion naira 2022 budget estimates to National Assembly. Projects 6.54 trillion naira revenue, up from 5.60 trillion naira in 2021. Proposes 5.60 trillion naira deficit, 2.60 trillion naira VAT. Senate set to pass MTEF FSP Thursday. Underneath the picture of the day, despite our challenges, we are still a lucky country. That's coming from President Buhari. There are other headlines on the Blueprint newspaper this morning. Just pick yourself a copy so you can read up on all of those stories.
And that's it for the newspaper segment of The Conversation this morning. We'll go on a quick commercial, and up next, we'll bring you the big story.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. If the farm say it's happy, you want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust to provide effective relief and is gentle on the stomach. Try Panadol Caplets for relief from headaches, body aches, and fever. With Panadol's Optizorb formula, the tablet gently breaks down in the stomach, quickly absorbs, and starts providing pain relief in 15 minutes. For fast and effective pain relief that you can trust, try Panadol Caplets. This has been Medifact for Panadol.
You're still watching The Conversation on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television, and be informed that you could be part of the conversation by connecting with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also via our website, and by connecting with us using the details currently showing on your screen. It is the big story, the crux of the conversation this morning, and its focus is going to be on cross-carpeting, the move to unseat Governor Matawalle of Zamfara State. We will be joined by Comrade Waheed Saka this morning, who is a public affairs analyst, to discuss this as well as other issues. Comrade Saka joins us via telephone. Thank you for joining us on the conversation.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Yes, sir. First, sir, what do you make of the move to unseat the governor of Zamfara State for alleged unlawful defection to the APC?
The issue is not about legal. The issue is not, as far as I know, unlawful. But the issue is a moral issue. And it speaks of people begin to ask questions about the good conscience, considering the fact that it took a lot of legal battle for PDP to take over the leadership of the government in Zamfara State. However, as far as I know, there is no settled legal principle on the issue of defection. And this born out of the ideological clarity of various or leading political parties in Nigeria. Because it is very easy for them to shift from one party A to party B at every convenience, and there is no ideological bond that glue a politician to a political party in Nigeria. So the issue is that, as far as I know, it is good for PDP to challenge the legality in court, and it could be good for our jurisprudence if they so do. Because, but as far as the Constitution and the electoral law is concerned, there is no definite clause that says the governor lose their seat if they defect to other political parties.
So, sir, I would want to ask, don't you think there should be a legal clause to, you know, guard against defection? So even if it doesn't mean that the person defecting loses his seat, there should be some form of penalty for doing so.
I want to ask, who will do the law? Our legislator in Nigeria, during the last regime, PDP benefited from such defection. And now APC is benefiting. When PDP that have majority National Assembly should make such law, they were busy benefiting from cross-carpeting. Today, APC is enjoying same. So the issue is who will make the law that will regulate such. We begin to ask questions, a very critical one, that is it good for our politics? On a moral ground, I would say no. It's not good enough. But we are at a political situation whereby those benefiting will not make the law, and those who are at the receiving end will continue to make the noise. In 2018, when Governor Otom defected, they heard him and everyone didn't fall. So we have a long list of cross-carpeting across leading political party. So we did need a law just like that of National Assembly that if you cross carpet in the National Assembly, you lose your seat if there is no crisis within your political party. Even at that, are we having a precedent for such that has lost their seat based on there is no crisis on their party? No. So we have a long way to go as a nation and as a democracy.
Okay.
We need law that will regulate cross carpeting, no doubt about that. But who will make such law?
Okay, talking about laws, the date for the suit challenging the defection of Matawalle is been set for 16th of July. That's in 2 days. What do you think the expected outcome will be, of that hearing?
I love when people go to court to challenge things because it disabled the use of force to challenge things. So I look forward to a long battle of wit in court. I look forward to a situation where our courts, the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic, will stand up for what is right. I look forward for a situation whereby our morality define our law too. I look forward to a situation whereby we continue to look for good conscience in whatever we do and see that the law of our land prevail at every point in time. So as far as I know, this will be a long battle. And it will be good for our jurisprudence.
Okay. So, so I want to ask this. Some quarters are saying that since the election conducted in Zamfara State, the APC never had a candidate, or rather, never had a valid primaries, so to speak, which means that Governor Matawalle and Gusau, his deputy, defecting from the PDP to the APC, would mean that there's still no candidate in the APC in that election, so which means it is legal to state that the governor automatically loses his seat since the APC did not contest in that election. So what's your take on that?
The court will have to decide that.
Okay.
We need to allow the court to decide the decision of their own decision in the first place. People question the decision to actually award that state to PDP. Okay. But the reality is they've made a choice. And now they need to make another choice. Whether it's right in law for Matawalle to so defect to a party that have no
candidate
valid claim to that office. Okay. But it's still subjected to the people of the court to so decide. I have an opinion that Matawalle, in good conscience, to relinquish that office. That should be the honorable thing to do. But you know, in Nigeria, politicians don't always do the honorable thing. Yes. They used to go through the path of dishonor. Okay. And if you so wish to be in office, yes, you will relinquish that office and allow PDP to enjoy the sweat of the mandates.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. Unfortunately, there's much we can take on the program with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to always be on TOS. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to our viewers for joining us on the conversation today. I will be expecting you to join us tomorrow. Don't forget, the conversation comes to you every weekday. That means we'll be back here tomorrow. But before then, you should follow TOS TV Network across all social media platforms. That's TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And of course, you have to subscribe to TOS TV Network on YouTube so you're not left out of amazing content. Also stream our content on www.tostvnetwork.com. My name is Ade Sowal Sui.
I am Sagir Ibrahim, and thank you for watching.